The Gold Board, a key plank in my administration strategy to reform the gold mining sector and ensure maximum benefits for Ghanaians from our gold resources, has taken off. In its short existence, it has sanitized the gold sector, ensuring maximum returns from our gold exports. Ghana's gold exports earned the country $2.7 billion. Ghana's gold exports through the PMMC and the Gold Board earned the country $2.7 billion between January and April. And this figure is expected to increase exponentially throughout the year.
Mampanyi John Dramani Mahama Sonfe Dramani Atopini Atituni Mintim Eni Menshia Kwa himfi or Pemso 246 Tababi or Tosumi Pennyford to Rufo Mampanyi Dada Kufo and Afis Ibrahim Mahama Chesem Pennyfo Benefo and Etresia a Jumedia Womo Ss a dream Mampanyi Susie ene Enema Bia Airboamo Mina Conkind the Omudi Begua Quemu and a Hunkron Babu Brija and Yabon and Masaya and a bit and nearby business and movie video in tattoo. Ye de Emma Obsia, ye the bet was so at the amount of video no one when some Mampany can ye said the Mahama bar for life. I water to Nema, a woman a quomo at the aboa. Now the etching be body bia and quabu a can and abu my body bia and cotobiano. Ye the nedina ye nandy, where to man anti ye a more minor, yet to me after into my perfresi and dadem. Na ye mwenya kwa mansha Mampany sama who do bia.
There's a very special one. The first time Professor Mills sent Bafuboni of blessed memory and a team to come and tell me that he wanted me to be his running mate. And at that time I had made my plans to leave politics. So my response was no, I won't do it. So later he sent Ato Ahoy and Totobi Kwachi and Kwamina to come and ask me to accept to be his running mate. Again, I said no. And so one day I was in Accra, I got a call. He says, Otumfo wants you in my share. Who am I to refuse? So I got up and went. And when I went, I said, hey, when you say, Professor Bill say, Beye, nabe de chain, nabe de vice president, I will say there be. Hey, oh boy. He says, when your country calls you, you can't refuse. He says, I was sitting in London somewhere, and my kingdom called me to come and be with him. For I think I don't want to enjoy the free life that I had to do it, so you cannot refuse. So he said, okay, I'm going to South Africa, I'm going to meet President Mills. When I come to Accra, I want your response, because I promised him I'll bring a response. So when Otumfo came to Accra, when Otumfo makes a request, who are you to refuse? So when he came to Accra, I went to him and he said, yes, have you made up your mind? And I said, yes, I've made my mind, but tell Professor Mills I'll do it for only one term. And Nana said, even if you do it for only one day, we'll accept it. The rest is history. And so it was instrumental in me becoming Professor Mills' running mate. And of course, we went on to win that election, and everything else is history. So, Your Majesty, thank you very much. And I appreciate your friendship. Taking bold steps to formalize the small-scale mining sector through initiatives such as the Cooperative Mining and Skills Development Program, the Ghana Landscape Restoration and Small-Scale Mining Project. And as the Minister said, there are various initiatives underway. These initiatives aim to provide legal access to land, training, equipment, and shared infrastructure. We also will eliminate the use of mercury and supporting environmentally safe alternatives for mining. Let me be clear at this juncture. Artisanal miners are not enemies of the state. If properly trained and supported, they can be allies in our development. Working together with the small-scale mining sector, We will reclaim our forest reserves and restore the purity of our water bodies. Our river guards are working on clearing mining activities in our water bodies and on the banks of our rivers. We've successfully, as the minister told you, we have successfully cleared illegal miners out of 8 out of the 9 no-go zone forest reserves. Mining contributes substantially to our GDP, to our foreign exchange and employment. But I must say, it has not transformed the lives of our citizens as it should. And so we must ask ourselves the hard question: why does the wealth beneath our feet not translate into prosperity above ground? A major reason is our extractive structure. We export raw materials, raw minerals, and we import finished product. But the real value, which is jobs, technology, and revenue, is captured elsewhere. My administration is committed to moving beyond extraction to transformation. And this means that we'll be investing in the downstream industry of the mineral value chain, refining our gold and developing our jewelry industry, processing our bauxite into alumina and aluminum, converting lithium into battery components for export, and using iron ore to feed a steel industry. We must integrate mining into the broader economic framework, linking it to our manufacturing, energy, logistics, and research. That is how we build resilient and diversified economies. The Gold Board, a key plank in my administration strategy to reform the gold mining sector and ensure maximum benefits for Ghanaians from our gold resources, has taken off. In its short existence, it has sanitized the gold sector, ensuring maximum returns from our gold exports. Ghana's gold exports earned the country $2.7 billion. Ghana's gold exports through the PMMC and the Gold Board earned the country $2.7 billion between January and April. And this figure is expected to increase exponentially throughout the year. But the Gold Board is not only about exporting gold. It will soon roll out a track and trace system to ensure that Ghana's gold exports are procured from environmentally sustainable sources. The Gold Board will work to train artisanal and small-scale miners in responsible and sustainable mining practices. The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, in collaboration with the Gold Board, is also soon to launch, in cooperation with the private sector, an ambitious project to reclaim 10,000 hectares of mined-out lands. The Gold Board will also be working towards attaining LBMA certification for Ghana's gold.
The speakers, particularly Dr. Biom, had said that the NPP lost because of A, B, C, D, E. And that by saying so, he was laying blame on some people.
Yes.
And he was taking himself out of blame, which is a total fabrication or misinterpretation of what happened. Total.
So he was just echoing what was contained.
He was just echoing. And indeed, the first 2-3 days, the speaking arrangement was that Kennedy Agyapong spoke first. You would think that these speakers had sat down and planned what they were going to say, because it was the same feed, speaker after speaker. Kennedy Agyapong also said thank you, apologized for the defeat. We've heard what you're saying, and this is what we are going to do. Then he even makes some suggestions on his own. He thought that there should be amnesty, and he wants the delegates to support him to appeal to the national executives. The chairman is sitting there, the general secretary is sitting there, so they can have an amnesty and all of that. And next time the selection of the delegate should include polling station and all of it. He also makes. The next speaker is the general secretary. JFK. He goes into a lot more detail about the feedback about the causes of the defeat. So he talks about you mentioned arrogance of power, you mentioned insensitivity, you mentioned this situation in the party, the selection of delegates, you mentioned the cathedral, you mentioned... The general secretary is the one who goes into detail. And after the general secretary will come the chairman, who will speak briefly. And then the Biom will be the last speaker. And in the early days, when Biom was speaking, he would reiterate what the general secretary had already said about the grievances. And that was what was reported. For example, Biom said, you said we were arrogant. We have heard it. We are sorry.
Right.
You said the National Cathedral was a problem. We've heard it. We are sorry. You said there was the increase in the petrol 3 days to election. Upset you. He made a remark that I was out campaigning because it's just about a week to the elections, and so when I came back, then I heard about it and so on. You said that was a sore point. Then, and the media these days, it is not what you said or what you did, but what you are reported to have said.
Right.
So, as I'm speaking to you now, if tomorrow somebody reports, Narakumia blasted so, that then becomes what I have said. That's what I'm saying. Yes, there are dozens of bloggers looking for all kinds of angles to stories, and it's quite a mayhem out there.
So Dr. Bawumia's intention was not to abdicate himself from blame.
Not even the intention. He didn't do so.
Okay.
He said, this is what you have told your Kwe committee, as mentioned by the General Secretary, that you said A, B, C, D, we have heard. Right. We are sorry.
So